morning. This is Steph Doyle, and we're on the Front Porch. And it's Friday, man. And I'll tell you what, this Friday is really going to be rocking because we have a special guest with us today. A lot of you probably already know her out there. Her name is Cristi Franklin, man. Hey, how you doing, Cristi?
Cheers, baby. It's good to be
Cheers.
here.
And so, a lot of people told me, get Cristi on the porch. And I'm like, yeah, I could really use some really good energy. We had Boogie on the porch. We had David on the porch, man. But I needed some really good, feminine energy, man. That's what we're talking about, right? And Cristi's really unique. I mean, in the aspect that, she's up performing with bands, fronting with bands, but she's also fronting on a lot of songs that are actually performed by males, which is really cool.
Love it.
I love that.
They're
so
mine.
welcome, Cristi, on the porch. And so where are you from? Are you originally from here?
Rockville.
Rockville.
Yeah, I grew up in Rockville.
Oh, you know what? Michelle's from Rockville.
Really?
My wife, absolutely.
Really? Yeah, I grew up in Rockville. I went to Wooten.
That's awesome, man.
Lived there basically my whole childhood.
So I'm familiar with Rockville.
Yeah.
I worked down there for years.
Yeah.
So now, are you still in Rockville, or?
No, we're in Mount Airy now.
Oh, now you're in Mount Airy. Yeah. So that's better. Be further north of Moco, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. So, I know you're always playing in these bands. You're in like Betting on Austin now,
Yeah,
which is really awesome. I love that energy.
Love it. I was so flattered when they asked me to do that.
That's great.
And I said when Poverty Ridge was ending that I wasn't going to go join an established band because I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
Right.
I didn't want them to hand me their list and say, here, sing this.
Yeah.
But he asked me and I dove right on it.
That's great. And Jimmy, he's a great guy. I love Jimmy.
So talented.
Man, that's an understatement.
Crazy. It's
that
crazy.
is an
and
understatement.
I do a duo with him too.
Yeah,
Too
that's
Easy.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, we have a great time.
Unplugged, man.
Yeah, he's pushed me so hard to play my guitar. I love him for it.
That's great. And then mentioning Poverty Ridge, I know you were with Poverty Ridge, and man, what a dynamic band that was.
17 years.
17 years.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Oh, we did a lot of stuff together, that's for sure.
Now, I know it's evolved into another project, and that project's called Gaslight,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And a lot of the original members of the band are still in there.
3 of us went on, and we got a drummer and a new guitar player, which happens to be Bob Majors.
Bob Majors, yeah, Bob, man.
I invaded Motor Smoke.
What a dynamic guitar player he is. And you know what I love about Bob, and I don't mean to take this little sidebar away from you, but I just mentioning Bob, because he's so low to the ground, man, he can really get down low with that guitar.
Steph, the first time I saw him play, Kenny hung his guitar around him, and I'm telling you, it was down at his
hilarious.
knees. And he played it. Kenny said, do you want me to shorten that strap? He said, nope, I got it. And he played it. It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen.
Oh, man, I wish I would have seen that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Oh, he's so talented, and he doesn't even know it.
So you really got a good thing going with Gaslight, huh?
Yes.
I know Ian's still
All
with you
new
on the
songs.
keys. Yeah.
Yeah, I love singing.
And then
with
you got Pete Friedlander on the bass.
You did Pete's bass.
Yeah, I did Pete's
beautiful.
bass. Yeah, in fact, we're going to be redoing the electronics on his bass.
It's beautiful. Love it. But yeah, and we picked a whole bunch of new songs, and it's nice.
That's cool. And then you're with Acute Triangle.
I am.
Which is
so much fun.
a 3-piece combo.
Yeah, Johnny asked us, me and Kenny, if we would do that with him.
And then
like
when
over a
Kenny
year
left,
ago.
Bob Majors stepped in again. So now we got Bob again.
Trying really hard to corrupt him.
I guess so.
It's working, I think.
That's cool. Now, do you remember what inspired you to be a performer? What was your inspiration to bring you up on the stage?
Well, my mother sang my whole life. I mean, I started singing when I was like 2. She would stand me on the bench in church and say, sing, baby.
That's really cool.
So my whole family, my brothers and sisters, they can all sing. So when my dad would go out, my brothers would have the band in the basement, and I sat and watched and picked up a guitar and just wanted to learn. And there were a couple of them that would stop and say, put your fingers here like this. And
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to have that mentorship from
I'm
the
still
family.
in touch with those guys. It's
starting
awesome.
out as a little one and then just working your way
absolutely.
up.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. That's probably why you're such a powerful performer, because you just started young and just worked your way up.
Yeah, well, I didn't even start in a band until I was like 25.
Oh, well, you know, that's
Nobody
kind
knew
of
I could sing.
segues into
Nobody
the next
knew.
question I was going to ask you. Is what's the name of your first band? Do you remember?
Honky Tonk Angel.
Honky Tonk Angel.
With a lot of rockabilly stuff.
Oh, that's
Oh, it
awesome.
was so much fun. So much fun.
That's great.
But I was not like I am now.
And how long were you with that band?
Probably 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
Any memories that kind of stick out that...
We played over in Columbia one night at Sonoma's. And man, the place was packed. I was so scared. I'm nervous every time I play until I get, the first couple lines out of my mouth, and then I'm okay. But, I was terrified.
I think we
And
all are
had
kind of
a
nervous when we
great
get
time.
up. I go through the same thing myself.
It's
And I'm not
like-
even out front,
It's like fear of the unknown. You just, it's weird. It's weird.
Right,
Because even if people are there that I know like us,
right.
I still feel that way.
I've always been told, that I really shouldn't care what other people think. But
Whitey
when you're
told
up
me
on
that
the
a long time
stage,
ago.
that's why you're there. Is you're there to perform
Whitey
and
told me
entertain.
it's none of my business what people think of me.
Right,
And
right.
it's not. It's
You know,
not.
that's a good way of looking at things.
It really isn't.
I really think so. That's
If it was
healthy.
my business, they'd say it to me, right?
Right, right. That's cool.
So I try to
So,
remember that.
do you play any instruments? I know you play the
play
acoustic guitar. Anything
the guitar.
else?
Not really. My son can play anything you hand him, but not really. I play the mandolin a little bit, but
That's cool.
it's hard on your fingers, so I tend to put it down quickly.
So, what was your inspiration to pick up a guitar?
My brothers.
Your brothers?
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like the family is just like a huge inspiration
yeah.
for you to get
Oh,
these
yeah. And my
things
dad was
moving.
out, every night. He was a drinker, so he was out every night, and the guys would come over. There was a drum set in the basement, and they would come over and just play.
Oh man, there's nothing like a good homegrown jam.
It was
you know?
funny because they'd see the car coming up the hill, and everybody would just disperse. Gone.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah. But yeah, it was almost every night at my house.
That's cool. So, have you had any experiences like a Stevie Nicks kind of experience with songwriting? You know how something weird
I
hits you.
did
and
when
you
I
just
was young.
Want to kind of.
I did when I was in my 20s, I think, but they never really went anywhere. So when I played with Gary Falwell, he was such a great writer. He wrote some of the best songs. And we did put some of them down on, record them at one point, but we never really got to them as Poverty Ridge. So
That's cool.
there's one that I would really like to do. So we might do it with Cute Triangle.
You should try.
I know.
Give it a whirl.
I know. It's like one of those Fleetwood Mac songs.
Yeah,
the
the
second
Stevie
time the
Nicks
chorus
kind of
comes
thing,
around, you're singing it.
Yeah, and it's funny is when you're in your 20s, you're still kind of idealistic and you're seeing the world through new eyes.
Yes.
And of course, when we're young, we're like, we're going to try
And
to
there
save
were moments,
the world.
yeah,
you know?
but there were moments when I'd get out of bed and write things down because I knew I'd forget them if I didn't.
Yeah.
But they just never, I don't know.
Yeah, right now I have to write things down just because I'm old. We're all
Can't remember anything, right?
Right. Well, that's cool. So, you should probably try to bring that song to life.
I will.
And you're surrounded by so many talented
Well, when Gary
people.
passed away right before he died, he said, "My songs are yours, all of them."
Oh, wow.
I said, "Are you serious?" He said, "All of them."
Wow, that's great.
Okay.
I mean, it's not great that he
And his
passed
son
away,
gave
but
them to
man,
me,
it's
so-
great that he passed along his
Yeah, I love
his
it.
creative work to you.
Love it. Keep him with me all the time.
Have you ever done any session work, like recording work?
No, nothing except in Kenny's basement. He's got, he does recording there, so. But the red light would come on and I'd go, ah!
I know.
He put a piece
Isn't
of
that
masking
weird?
tape over top of it.
It's so weird,
It is.
I can practice for a recording and just blow through it and be so just into it. As soon as I push that record, I'm
Yeah.
like tripping all
Yep.
over everything. I'm like, what is
We've been
up
doing
with that?
with the Cute. We've been doing Chris Stapleton Starting Over.
Oh yeah, I love that song.
I played along with him like 9 times one night. Hit the record button to do it myself, and I could not.
Isn't that weird?
I was going to send it to Bobby because we've been working so hard on it.
Right.
I was like, I got it. I'm going to send it to him and show him. No, I'm not.
And
I'm not
what's
showing
funny?
him that.
You know what's funny? I've talked to a lot of people that record it, and they go through the same thing.
Yeah.
They practice it, they've got it down. As soon as they push that record button, they'll get through maybe the first 8, 10 measures, then start tripping.
Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Is it, that song? I have left Bobby and John saying, ho, hey, like 90 times.
I saw it. I witnessed that. I witnessed that. That was funny. But you know what was really cool about that whole situation? Is you guys are having fun with it, you know, even though we're getting a little bit of a false start, you know. And then even Bob was like being self-deprecating, you know. He's just like, yeah, you know, what do you expect?
The first time we did it, I've done it twice now. That and starting over are really close.
Right.
And every time I put them in the same set, I try to say, road rolls out like a welcome mat to ho hey. I'm like, those aren't the words. The words are right in front of me. Why can't I say those words?
Right.
Bobby comes over and he's like, sing it. You got the words.
And he's over there doing.
I said, I know, I don't know how to say it. Say it.
And he's just waiting. Oh,
yes.
Hey.
Yes.
That was great, though. But
Kept
you know,
going.
You know what's funny about that whole situation is everybody was really actually entertained by that.
Oh, I know.
You know?
I know. And my
So it
husband
went
said, you
well.
know, if you wouldn't tell people that you screw up, they probably wouldn't know. I said, well, if I don't, I start getting really hot. If they're laughing with me, it's okay. If they're laughing at me, it's a whole different thing. So
That was
I
a
have
lot
to
of
laugh
fun.
at myself.
That was a lot of fun. That's the first time I saw you guys, and you know, and when you guys did that, I cracked up and I was looking at Bob, and Bob was just shaking his head, laughing. But you guys just kept it going, and it
Yeah.
was so much fun.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Once we get started, it's great.
I really thought that was really cool. As an aside, I wanted to mention that my wife, Michelle, made these great brownies for us today. And, you know, she does this cooking, and what she does is she says, hey, who are you going to get on the front porch? And I tell her, and she goes, find out what they like, and I'll make it for them. So she does a great job with baking. So,
She asked me herself last Saturday.
yeah, she's like, what do you want on
And
the
I
front
was going to
porch?
stay out of them until we were done, but I couldn't.
Knock it out. That's what they're for. So I just wanted to mention that and let you all know that if we get you on the front porch, Michelle's probably going to be asking you what kind of treats you want.
There will
She's
be
definitely
goodies.
going to bake them for you. So keep that in mind. And for the rest of you, well, got to try to get on the porch to get some goodies. All right, we'll get you back to the interview. Thanks for joining us today. So let me ask you this. Have you ever taught anybody else how to play or sing?
I've taught people like chords, but singing, no. Nobody ever
No?
taught me, so I
Oh,
can't read
okay.
music. I can't do any
Okay.
of that stuff. I watch from learning. I learn from watching.
Yeah. You know, it takes a very special mindset, I think, to be able to, you know, pass along
Yes.
the things you've learned to others. And
Yes.
I think maybe we teach others maybe in an indirect way, you
Yeah,
know, where they
yeah.
watch us. And,
That's how I learned from my brothers.
Right.
I watched.
right.
Next thing I know, I'm picking up a guitar and playing Simple Man.
Right.
So
You know, I studied under a couple of guys, Dave DeMarco, and then of course John Boogie. I studied under him, and it's amazing that they have this mindset where they can go into that mode where they're analyzing it from a technical
Oh, yeah.
aspect, you know,
Yeah.
and be able to say, hey, you know, let's stop. I don't want you to start any bad habits and then
Right.
get into this, you know.
Right.
So it really does take a special mindset.
does.
I don't think I could ever do that. One, I'm probably not confident enough in my abilities.
I don't know what I'm
and
doing,
two,
Steph.
Two, I don't want to teach somebody wrong.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then the next thing you know, they're up there with really bad habits.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I'll just
see, I
stick to
wouldn't know if
taking
it was a bad
lessons
habit.
instead of teaching lessons.
I have a lot of bad habits when it comes to music. I really do.
Hey, well, you know, since we're talking about that, you know, people that inspire you, you know, what performers have really kind of inspired you to go a certain direction in your style or
I
the
had
way you
no
approach?
idea
Really?
how influential Winona Judd was to me until I saw her
Winona
last year.
Judd, okay.
And she does so many things that I do, and I was like,
Yeah, you know,
could
she
do
is
that.
pretty powerful.
oh,
you know?
that girl doesn't need a mic, baby.
Right.
She does not need a microphone.
And even, you know, the way she performs, you can tell that she's
Incredible.
totally into what she's doing.
Comes
you know?
from her soul.
Absolutely.
It does.
So that's great to have an inspiration
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, I've always loved her. Always.
Any others?
Her mother.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was the only person I ever knew that could sing those low harmonies and just make them so sweet.
Yeah, back in the 90s when they were coming out on the country scene, man, I really loved the Judds.
I
you
saw
know?
them at Fairfax High School
That's great.
the first time they came around. And that mother walked out in that big old dress and skirt, and I went, what am I doing here?
That's
but they
crazy.
sang like crazy, and I loved it.
Yeah, that they did have amazing harmonies. You know, mother and daughter.
Now I'm going to blow your mind because the other big one is the Backstreet Boys.
Really?
Those guys can sing like nobody's business.
Yeah, you know those boy bands. You know,
It's
I think
incredible. And now they're grown men, and I saw them last year with my daughter, and they were amazing.
yeah, you know, you think about it. You know, the boy bands. You know, they really had to have a good vocal presence to
The
make
youngest
it
one
work.
was 14.
Right.
Now he's almost 40.
Isn't that
And
crazy?
his voice is still the same. It's incredible.
Yep.
It's incredible.
Yep.
So, yeah, singing is my thing, and if they can sing, I'm in.
You know, thinking about it, you know, if I was really into, you know, that style of singing, you know, where we're using a lot of harmonies and stuff, that really probably would be a good inspiration
Yes.
to watch and observe how
Now,
they're
see, when I was
doing
young,
that
my mother
stuff.
listened to the Statler Brothers and the Oak Ridge Boys and stuff
Right.
like that. So, but my daughter was knee high and wearing a Backstreet Boys shirt. So
That's pretty cool.
it's been in my house for a long time.
That's cool. All right. So, you know, what are your current bands you're in? I know we talked about Acute Triangle.
The Cute Triangle, and we started Gaslight.
In fact, we got some stuff here, right here. These
These are my mats that I like to
these
stand
mats.
on.
Look at
Because you
these
know me, I
mats. I'm
can't
gonna-
keep my shoes
I'm gonna
on.
Put this up.
Cannot keep my shoes
She's
on.
got the
So
Acute Triangle mat, which is really cool. Yeah. And you put these on
concrete
stage?
is, oh yeah, concrete's hard on your feet.
And then the Gaslight mat.
Gaslight mat.
Boy, that
Love
came
it.
out really
Love
nice,
it.
too.
Love the lantern.
Yeah,
Love
yeah. I actually helped these guys with this logo.
Yes, you did.
And we cleaned it up and brought in this
Oh, it was
acetylene
so
lantern,
nice.
and yeah, it,
It
really
was
came
so
out nice.
sharp when you
These
sent
are
it back.
cool.
Yeah, I love them.
Boy, they came out really nice.
Love 'em.
Love these
And they
things.
really do help my bare feet.
And then of course you're in betting on Austin
Yes,
now.
I am. God, what an honor.
And so you got any shows coming up with any of these guys?
We're playing, Acute Triangle's playing tonight, Sunday. We're playing a lot. We're playing a lot, but we do a lot during the week and Sundays. Sunday fun days are a lot of fun.
Cool.
So, and then Gaslight, when do we play again? We play at Frankie's at the end of the month.
Frankie's.
Yeah. But I'm trying to book them more. It's tough because Bob, I don't want to spread Bob too thin.
Right, right.
want him
'cause
to
he's
stay.
in Motor Smoke.
And I don't want anything to interfere with Motor Smoke. So
Right, right.
Jimmy and I have shared calendars and talked about all that and trying to work around betting on
And
Austin.
what I'll do
too.
is I'll put links down below,
Yeah.
and you can go down below and just click on the See More on the tab, and then you'll be able to see all the links in there to click on the events where her bands are going to be
Yes.
playing. Do you have any social media presence?
Yeah, there's Facebook. We are always on Facebook. I don't think we did anything else for the new Gaslight. I don't think there's anything else out there yet.
What we'll do is we're going to put her Facebook page down in the links at the bottom, and we'll direct you to there. That way, if there's not an event you can make this weekend, you can always make it
Absolutely.
another time.
Yeah, like I said, Acute plays a lot.
And another thing we're going to put up there is we're going to put the Razzle report.
Love
I
it.
love the Razzle report.
love it. Love Razzle.
Razzle Markel, man.
Great
You know, I always
guy.
make a mention of him, and he really does go through a lot of work gathering all
He's
the
a
band
great guy.
information from around the northern Maryland, Frederick County,
Yeah.
Washington County, Carroll County areas. And
That's
does
not
a
easy.
great job. And he even does some of the Baltimore shows as
Does.
well.
And it's not easy to
Yeah,
do that.
it's not easy because
not.
he's gleaning the internet for all
Yeah.
of this stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll put the Razzle report in there as well.
Awesome.
All right, Cristi. Well, you know what? It's been awesome. I'm glad you
Thank
joined
you
me on the
so
front
much.
porch.
Love it.
And you know, I'm looking forward to your next show,
Oh, yeah.
and just can't wait to see us. So, cheers.
Cheers.
We're gonna finish our coffee. And oh, by the way, I'm drinking black coffee today. What are you drinking, Cristi?
I'll never tell, baby.
Ah, man, she's gonna keep that secret. Well, you know,
It's
next
5
time you
o'clock
see
somewhere.
Cristi out live, say, "Come on, tell us what was in the cup."
Never.
Y'all have a great weekend and have a rockin' time. We're gonna finish our coffee, and God bless.
Thanks, Steph.